Yeah, what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, ain't shifts, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways, even on a crossway. Driving down Cross Bay, out town Barclays. Really on big things, came up a small way. Championship rings, baby, that's a ball game. Oh, she want a little bag, baby, that's small change. Yeah, that money talk. If we ain't cool, then cut me off. No breaking news, don't run your mouth. Thought it was the plug, now he running off. Thought it was a plug, now he running off. What you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies, real lies.
Everything good? What's poppin', everybody? Welcome into the Dan Levely Show. Thank you for clicking that play button, and thank you for watching live, all you live people out there. Leave a comment in the description below or in the live stream, and we'll pop it up on the screen. Make it part of the show. But today we do have a special guest. We do have the Second System from Saginaw, Michigan coming in. We have Troll and Derek coming in to promote their band and some shows they got coming up. And I would like to introduce them, but when the people send you pretty much a promo video that does your job for you, you must do that. So here you go. Enjoy this video real quick.
I'm Don, and we are the Second System.
The Second System. It's somewhere to go when nobody else wants you. We were all a group of outcasts that don't fit anywhere else but here. You got somebody that's always left out, people who were ostracized. And so what I wanted to create was somewhere where people who didn't fit in anywhere had somewhere to go. We got together, started writing music together. Things just happened from there, magic.
I'm Don, I'm the one-armed guitarist. I have a left-handed guitar, but I flip the strings upside down because that's how I play.
This guy walks up to me, he's like, "Hey man, I hear you guys are looking for a guitar player." And I was like, looked down at his arm and seen he was like missing some shit. I'm like, "Why, do you know one?"
My mother used to work for a dentist office, did a lot of x-rays, and that radiation actually stopped the growth of my arm.
This dude called me every day for 2 weeks going, "When are you guys practicing? When are you guys practicing?" And then finally one day I was like, you know what? This guy's fucking persistent. Let's bring him out and actually see if he can jam. So yeah, this is my job. It sucks. Here I am pulling off fat off a chicken. But then at night, the lights come up, you're screaming my name. That's the built up everyday tension, everyday problems and relief. Before and after I get on stage, I'm a nervous wreck. Hearing that there was 2,000 people filling the State Theater was enough to make me want to.
Will you share that link?
It wasn't just Detroit we're doing.
The YouTube link,
Every
baby?
single day of his life, multiple times.
The one that I sent to you?
Any place we play, make sure you got a bucket for me. If we had $1 million, we could do it. We'd be able to record all our CDs and have them sound as professional as the big boys. I would buy just about all of these.
We would give you the best metal album you've heard.
There's no such thing as working too hard. We're professional. We gotta step it up a notch, man. Things gotta be on the deal. Busting our ass until we drive ourselves into the ground. When you're down, you just keep trying. I'm still late on my rent and all that kind of shit.
We don't even have a vehicle large enough to actually transport our gear.
This guy's lost his house. This guy's about to lose his house. This guy lost his job. If we make this happen, then we won't have to worry about it. The Second System is somewhere where you can have something that you can do that's about total freedom.
Your life, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Second System. We got Troll and Derek in the house. You like how I just bring that up on you guys? Where I just play a video? Like where I just play a video,
Right.
and then all of a sudden you guys are on the screen. It's like magic.
Well, hold on.
But anyway,
I want to start off by saying I don't cut fat off chicken no more. At least not unless it's my own kitchen. Just saying.
Okay.
No. I'm glad that there are people that still do it. I'm so glad that there are still people that do it. Don't get me wrong. But man, I remember that job. I hadn't thought about that job in so long. And it's like seeing that video all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, that job sucked.
Good job. It was dumb.
That whole time period was trivial.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was our heyday, and we were doing a lot of things, and we were younger, and the world was at our feet. It seemed like so we were given a lot of opportunities that we didn't expect, and we were lucky in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, we worked hard for it and earned it.
Yeah, exactly, for real. But yeah, before we get into all this everything, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people out there who don't know who you are. We'll start with the guy on the top left, my top left.
All right.
Right, I don't know.
I'm Troll. Hi, everybody. I'm Troll. I'm the vocalist. I wouldn't call myself a singer. I like I used to say, I can't carry a tune with a wheelbarrow. but I'll jump around and entertain. I'm an entertainer or a mascot. No, I'm the screamer. I do the hard vocals for it when we have Pat Brennan, who comes in with a much clearer, prettier sound there.
Okay. Nice.
More traditional singing. Let Troll selling himself short there. He's got vocal talents that other people don't have. Vocal talents come in different forms and stuff, and that guy can do some things that other people can't do. So nice try at being humble there, but anybody who's seen him on stage knows that he can carry his own weight.
Right. Yeah. This is not the place to be humble, guys. So.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, my mom was. Mama raised us right. You gotta remember where you come from, especially watching a video like that. Like we just got. Man, that's a nice little dose of reality and a reality check of how far we've come since then. And it is a good slice of humble pie. And man, I gotta say, it tastes delicious being farther up that hill than it was back then. So that's all I'm saying. But anyway, who the hell are you down there at the bottom screen?
Oh shit! I don't even know anymore these days.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by and let me introduce Derek Fisher, founding member of Second System. I'm glad to say, because I know he's going to sit there and do the whole same humble pie thing. So for any of you guys that don't know, we are brothers. This is my older brother. Mm-hmm. He was the first guy to go, you know what, man? I think I want to start a band. Let me go find some folks. And that's how Second System started. Was from him going, shit, I just got out of the woods in North Carolina. Look at all these pretty lights here in Michigan. Man, I'm going to go make me some sounds. And that's pretty much where that's how Second System was born. Let's all be honest. And he went and found the biggest hodgepodge of fucking eclectic motherfuckers that he could and put them all together in a blender, and it just kind of worked.
Nice. So you got Francis tuning in from Ghana. Thank you for tuning in.
All the way from Africa. Nice. Hi, Francis. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep. See, we get people from all around the world around here. Like you never know who's gonna watch. It's great.
Went around the world, now I'm back again. I've been listening to that song a lot lately.
Yeah, but to go back to that video, I do like watching the come up, as people would like to call it. Like people don't realize that there's a whole different side to someone besides before they were, before they were famous or before they were making records or before everyone knew who the fuck they were. Like, but I like that. I like that part where you guys just kind of tuned in. You brought the camera into your job. You're like, this is what I do for a living.
And that was a lot of fun because so that whole thing was a TV show that they were trying to do basically like an American Idol version kind of thing. Like American Idol was getting big. These other TV shows were starting to come out right then. So this company out of Canada called Bodog, which was mostly into online gambling, they're like, well, let's make another investment. Let's go fund this TV show. And they had like the producer from one of the Bernie Mac series. He was the stage producer once we got to that level, because there were a bunch of different levels of, man, they had cameras and at our shows for what, Derek, 3 months?
Yeah.
3 months,
Yeah.
give or take, once we got involved. And once we reached a certain level in this show, we had to sign contracts that took hours of sitting around and reading, and we didn't understand this jargon. So we got a hold of a good friend of ours, Sean Wally, name drop there. Thanks to a lot of things that guy's done for us. But anyway, he sat there for like what, Derek? 6 hours?
Maybe something like that. Good part of that. Somewhere between 4 and 6. We all sat down like a group powwow in my house at the time, and we all just sat there and peeled through a contract that was this thick, of just making sure we knew what we were getting into and stuff. And one of the only things that we really didn't like was anything that we played on the show now belonged to them. So we had to, we made the conscious decision to alter certain songs that we played during this televised part of the competition so that we still retain the rights to our original music as it was and not the versions that they got while we played live. And like Troll was saying, they were trying to do like an American Idol thing. So we did this with Johnny Rotten sitting in the Simon Cowell chair,
Right.
And the guitar player from the Cult was there too. I think his name was Billy something.
Billy.
And then a Canadian pop rock star named Biff Naked. So
that drunk chick.
Yeah, and it was really cool because when the cameras were off and everybody was all cool and just being like, we're all a bunch of musicians in this thing doing a gig, right? We're all just kind of talking like that. And then as soon as cameras come on, you start seeing these personas come out of these people that you read about. Johnny Rotten off camera is just as cool as you or I and Troll sitting here talking. But as soon as the cameras come on, all of a sudden he becomes a dick. He's a British dick, and it's yeah. And it's like, wow, hold up, that's not the guy that was just talking to us over here,
That's a character he plays, and he plays that character well,
Right. It was a good experience.
I side note, I've heard rumor that I haven't checked into the validity of this. Do either one of you know the truth behind is? Larry the Cable Guy, is he one of those people? Is the whole thing that he does on stage completely fucking, like just a character he fucking plays?
Probably.
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure a persona. Like,
he
can't go
doesn't
through
have a
life
country
being
accent.
the Cable Guy every fucking day.
No. I don't mean. All right, I completely know that he takes it to an extreme, but I get the feeling that the motherfucker doesn't even have a country accent.
No, I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
If he does, it's nowhere near that thick.
Right.
I know
sure
he's
it's not
from.
that thick.
Yeah, I know he's from down south, but I don't think he's from like down south where like Jeff Foxworthy is from. And Ron White.
Now see, when Jeff Foxworthy was gaining popularity, I was a teenager in North Carolina, and everybody was listening to his cassette tapes. And back then, before he was famous and everything, they were passing around mixtapes of him performing and stuff. And he was definitely the truest redneck of the whole blue collar comedy team. We're raised in North Carolina, Sampson County, North Carolina. Shout out to anybody down there that's tuning in. Yeah, that's where we came from. So it was same town as Earl Strickland, the world one-time world 9-ball champion. So we got to meet a bunch of different kinds of people down there coming and going, and small ass town, but everybody wanted to go somewhere else bigger and do something different. And everybody got their chance in one way or another, or they didn't, you know. So
Right. So how did the second system become the second system? Like who thought this out? Who got the people together, and what came up with the idea? You just decided, hey,
So
I'm just gonna.
I am one of the, I guess, last members of it. Probably the first. I'm the first second generation of Second System because there have been many members replaced. But the core members were 4 people, and I'm gonna let Derek take that over. They ended up adding another later on, adding another screamer guy, and it didn't work out there. So they ended up. I showed up at a practice one day visiting, and the drummer at the time is like, "Man, you should let your little brothers get on a microphone and sing." And as a joke, they did. And it did a half-ass version of a song, Loco by Coal Chamber, that they're like, the rest of the guys like, you should let him do it from now on. You should let him. And Derek's reluctant to go, fuck, man, I want my little brother in something cool that I'm doing. God damn it. All right, fine. But I'll let Derek explain to you the birth of Second System, where it started and how they became.
Well, I was when I was growing up in North Carolina, I always had a couple of riffs that I always was tooling around with, trying to write, make songs with, and then ended up moving to Florida and trying to do something there. Left Jacksonville and moved up to Saginaw to be around some family. And when I was walking around Saginaw, I ran across this bar called Wise Guys, and they always had open mic night on Wednesday nights. And technically, you weren't supposed to get in there until you were 21, but I started sneaking in the back door and watching the bands play and getting to know some of the musicians. And I ran across this band called Holding 7 Down and met Patrick Brennan. And I was like, hey, man, you know, when we jumped on stage, we played a couple songs together. You know, everybody was just doing covers back then just to jam with each other on open mic, you know, for no reason. And I was like, hey, man, you know, are you interested in doing another band? You know, or at least pointing me in the right direction to find some guys. And he's like, well, my band's fixing to break up. We just played our last show. So what do you want to do? So me and him met up a couple of times. We talked about some things. We tossed around some ideas and stuff and what kind of direction we wanted to go. And more than anything, we wanted to provide a positive light through our music without trying too hard, you know, just being as natural as we could be. And the only way to really do that is accept ourselves, accept everybody else for how they come out of the box. You know what I mean? And find a way to groove around that and things like that. So we started jamming with different musicians and trying to see how it fell naturally together. And I met Jack Masters, our original drummer, and introduced him to Pat. And the two of them completely clashed on creative and personality styles, but somehow found a common groove with me as the middleman, I guess. And then we brought in Pat's old bass player from Holding 7 Down, Jeff Schott.
Jack was a lot more raw, like a more Pantera, Iron Maiden feel. And then you've got Pat. Jack was more Iron Maiden, Pantera feel, then you've got Pat Brennan walking in here with this real flamboyant makeup on, and you can't really tell if he wants to be a transvestite, if he's gay, but the motherfucker pulls more women than, you know, I don't know, George Clooney, you know what I mean?
He's got that Prince thing going on.
Yeah, exactly. It's very reminiscent of a Prince vibe.
Prince,
So
David
that's
Bowie.
what he means when he says there's a clash there, and you know, like it's like, whoa, you wouldn't imagine these two dudes sitting beside each other to party, much less show up at the party together. But oddly enough, they really did. You know, there was I would say magic. There's with a lot of members in the second system, it's almost comparable to the energy of each one of those people and the wizardry, the magic that we're able to produce is what's been able to make that second system sound. So that's why it seemed like a hodgepodge of people, because it's oddly been people that you wouldn't imagine would get along. Like most of the time it's like, oh, we got a band that sounds like this. Well, they all kind of listen to the same kind of music. Well, no, and second system, it's more like they're all kind of different from each other when you sit there and really look at them. But I don't know, it just for some reason just kind of made it work.
I believe I think with the way that I tried to approach things was I always tried to make sure the members in the band, when it came to writing and performing and stuff like that, always brought out their best, and also wanted to bring out their best. I didn't want anybody to feel forced. Although
everybody was open-minded. Every person that has been in second system, I will say, is an open-minded person and willing to accept and change, or either tweak themselves a little bit, or be like, oh man, I really get into that.
Hold on, not I wouldn't say necessarily change, but evolve. They evolved and grew together in ways they didn't think possible. So they found parts of themselves that was able to write music and perform in a way that brought out their true selves. And I think it made the music a little bit more genuine than your typical band that would come out and try to be pretentious or try to sound like this band, or you know what I mean? We didn't have a goal. Art wasn't the goal. It just turned out to be that way, Yeah, we had a lot of magic that happened from what we ended up calling happy accidents. So we always we at one point we tuned in and said, you know what? It's the universe giving us a gift, and we got to be grateful for it and take it as it is, and not try to control it or change it too much. Because when you start doing that, you start getting stressed out. You start, having issues, and those things came along.
Agreed, because some of our best songs that are even my favorite songs, because I mean, every band plays, you play certain songs so much you fucking get sick of them. But there are certain songs that I still, when we're able to play it, it feels so like they sound so good, and they're so much fun to fucking play, and it hits, man. That shit hits, bro. Or all the songs that we just showed up. Everybody plugs in. Somebody just starts playing something, and somebody else just kind of felt that vibe, and they just, it wasn't something that was planned. It was something that just fucking happened. It's almost like making soup. Everybody showed up that day and had a particular ingredient that they threw into the pot, and that shit mixed up, and it was just like, when we got done doing it, it was like out of breath, and you're looking at each other like, man, that was good. It's like good sex or something that just kind of came out of nowhere. It was spontaneous. It was like, okay, let's do that again, but we're gonna film it. Yeah.
Right.
And those songs I feel are my favorite songs, and some of the fans' favorite songs.
Right. Like, yeah, because I know both of you guys personally, and it seems like, because like, as like in an everyday life, Troll's pretty laid back. Derek, you're the same way. You guys are pretty laid back, and just normal people. But when you guys get on stage, it's like something just like over. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's just like, and then you guys just like become different people. I'm just like, these guys fucking rock. But yeah, it's like, I like the transformation from normal person to rock out and rip your heart out type shit.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
It definitely is something that happens there once that song starts, and it becomes a feeling that does take over. The performance comes out of whatever emotion it really does invoke in me, at least me personally. And I feel like I can say that that's a lot to do the same with each one of the other members of this band, is that particular song invokes a particular emotion and or response, almost like, any other animal in the animal kingdom. They are presented with a situation or a sound, and it provokes a particular response. And whenever those songs were created, for some reason, that energy was captured and bottled into that song, almost like in a timeless energy, to where later on, when we're doing whatever, like show up half-assed asleep, drunk, hungover, or just not feeling a headache, but that song will start, and as long as everybody's playing their part and it plays the right way, it's almost like riding a bike, or just a natural response to do that, and to have those emotions just pour out. The almost dancing, if you will, is not even a dance or whatever. It's just whatever. It's, God damn it, just I'm touched by the I feel it. Hallelujah, almost, it's almost fuck. Me and Derek were raised Pentecostal for a while. We were in a Pentecostal church, and I did everything I could to get invoked by the Spirit. I watched these people get invoked by the Spirit and start speaking in tongues, and they can't control themselves, and they just start running around the place. For me, I get that feeling when I'm playing that music with this particular band, and only in that moment. I did have a good
project.
I had a good substitute, if you will. I hate to say that. It hurt real hard, because All for the Cause, another band that I did in our own rights, we fucking kicked ass. Me and those three dudes are badass. And we had a fucking dope ass thing going on there. But the feeling that Second System has, that emotion, like we could be in a goddamn fist fight, knockdown, drag out. I fucking don't give a shit about you. Put that shit at the door, show up at the show, get on stage, play those songs, and it's just, yeah, and it in that moment of those, however long that song takes, all that shit doesn't matter, because that energy that we for some reason bottled up into that song when we wrote it is able to just come out of us, and by coming out of us, I feel like it's infectious to other people. It's fun.
I feel like what Troll is touching on and talking about is that natural. You got to kind of let it take over. Most bands or some band. We've both had the fortunate opportunities to play with other musicians and other bands and see how other things operate, and also be in control of those bands. I mean, Troll's talking about All for the Cause. He got the chance to be the leader of his band and control the certain aspects that he wanted to, and learn his way and understand certain things. And I've also been in other bands, and the most successful songs and performances are when I'm playing with musicians and people who are able to just release their control to the universe and just kind of let it run you. You know what I mean? And operate on autopilot.
Absolutely, it feels like autopilot.
It's like
you don't even have control.
You're finding a balance. You got to find a balance, though. If you let it release too much, you're not in control of anything, and then you're sloppy. So you got to make sure you're responsible and do your part, but then let the universe handle the rest of it. And I tell you what, man, that kind of magic comes from the earth, the natural vibration, and it's a science that we as humans haven't even tapped into yet.
Very well said.
So
mushrooms will definitely enhance that. Mushrooms, a couple of mushroom trips that we have had. Look, we took some mushrooms and did a show one time. There was three of us that did those fucking mushrooms that had those perfect little red. I never seen these things, man. They look like something from Super Mario Brothers. And one of the rappers that we were doing the show with at Jamestown Hall, man, they're just perfect red caps with these little white spots on them. And it made me go, I don't know, man. That looks like a fucking something out of a fucking, a National Geographic magazine. I don't know if we're supposed to eat those, because they don't look nothing like the other mushrooms I've ever taken before to get high, to reach that level. But man, we took those things, and I feel like that performance was one of my favorite, if not one of the best energy push fucking performances we've ever had. It was on a Halloween. We blew the power out right there in the middle of the first song. Still pulled, like damn near had a riot on our hand because there's like what, almost 100 kids packed into this fucking room. I don't know anybody who's been to Jamestown Hall.
Coming and going.
Right.
You know,
I mean, yeah, there was more people than that, but there was that's many. This room is a small church for anybody that's never been there, like a small old school one room church, and it was just the energy in that room that night was just amazing. So yes,
Right.
Mushrooms on stage. Ooh, I took some mushrooms one time when I was playing with Sport too, and that was a really dope ass show. I fucking ended the show with my pants around my ankles, jumping around the motherfucking place.
oh boy.
It's oh boy. But it's almost like Lenny Kravitz when he took LSD when he was playing his music. It's like when he took when he had like 5 hits of acid.
Jimi Hendrix started that shit, man. Jimi Hendrix. You said Lenny Kravitz. Jimi Hendrix.
Lenny Kravitz. Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, that's a Jimmy
I doubt
thing.
he took acid ever. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, fuck no.
But yeah, he would just he'd put like acid, like 5 strips of acid in under his headband and just zone out and just play.
You know,
and you can see it in some of those recordings. You can see it. You can see that emotion, that feeling. He was fucking in it. He was in it. He was in that place.
Well, Jimi Hendrix, I think, was part alien. I mean, I have this whole theory that I've been going on. Troll and I are Native Americans, and I've been discovering these old or these theories, these new theories that are tying in some of the old traditional stories and stuff into extraterrestrial beings and how they're finding a link, with other religions and faiths and things like that. And I really believe that there are some people who are on this earth that are actual hybrids of extraterrestrial beings, not to the degree that we think of as aliens with little gray people with, you know what I mean? But I mean, maybe they were
maybe they fucking are little gray people.
Well, maybe they are, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're just, like the angels that everybody talks about, coming in fiery flames of stuff. They could be discussing describing a flying UFO based off of what these old folks were, these older societies back in the day, old centuries ago, were trying to describe, and then we got these hybrid people.
And they're simple as minds.
Jimi Hendrix's fingers were extremely long, and the guy played in a way that no human at that time had experienced. Lemmy Kilmister, the singer bass player from Motorhead, the guy that people say is God, right? This guy used to be a roadie for Jimi Hendrix and was a guitar player. And somebody asked him, did you learn anything about guitar playing from Jimi Hendrix while you were his roadie? And he said, yeah, I learned that I should switch to bass. And he did, and he became Lemmy Kilmister, who he is, and his legacy separate from that in his own way. But there were people who knew Jimmy and other people in history like that, and they were like, listen, man, that individual has something that nobody else has. Right. And I don't know how they got it, but I wish I had it. But all we can do is try. And that's I think there's some people that are just naturally gifted in ways that the rest of us have to work hard for. And Hendrix is one of those people, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could get lost in the whole alien thing. Don't let me.
Yeah. We might have to have you on our new podcast that's about to drop. I'm gonna drop an ad real quick. Our new cast is about to drop, called Illuminati Ice Cream.
Now see, that's
Pat Brennan is hey, yeah,
that's our alley right there.
You're hitting the fucking nail on the head with the fucking second system. What we're
yep. The power is 3, man. The third eye. It's all right here. It's in our bodies. We all have it. We just got to find a way to tap into it, and that's what we tried to do. is teach people to learn enough about themselves to where they're accepting themselves as they come, so they could discover who they could grow to be, their full potential as a human being that's locked inside, their pineal gland, that's deep inside the brain. That's our communication to the universe, and we don't realize it yet. We haven't nobody's discovered that science yet, because it's not the science you can measure and weigh and write down, like gravity. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's a whole realm out there of functioning stuff that runs this universe we don't understand yet, but it makes the magic happen. And everybody says, where does the source of life come from? You can't touch it. That's there. It's just there. It's just everywhere. We're all part of it, man. It's to name it and try to categorize it the way everybody does. It's futile, man. Just accept it as it is. Accept you as you are, and elevate in the way you're supposed to naturally grow. The more you try to control how you are supposed to grow as an individual, the less you're going to pull yourself away from where you're supposed to be, your full potential as an individual in this universe.
Right.
That's just my focus right there. You got to find a balance between giving yourself up to the universe and letting it just be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like that's why Nikola Tesla is like one of my heroes. I'm like, this guy discovered wireless electricity in 1920, and we still haven't figured it out how to do it yet. I mean, this guy discovered and invented over 700. He has over 700 U.S. patents before his death, and when he died of a massive heart attack, the CIA and FBI came right in, took all his shit, and removed his body from. So I'm just saying, there's some stuff out there the government knows about. And we're going to get into that on the other podcast.
Right, exactly. That's where it actually belongs. But a lot of our music tried to tie into a lot of that stuff. And what I've discovered by going back and listening to some of our old recordings and stuff, our old music, our old lyrics, we were accidentally falling on a lot of the stuff that we're just now realizing as adults. I was like, wow, wait, we were really onto something, and we were talking about something that's completely relevant, whether we realized it or not. You start pairing up the lyrics between Pat and Troll and the way they were. If you read them just by themselves, just Pat stuff, you're like, I don't know if that makes sense. And the stuff by just Troll by himself, it don't make sense. But you put that stuff together and start thinking about how it relates to your life and how things are, you start going, wow, those two made sense together, whether they realized it or not. It was like a happy accident that I'm only now discovering.
That's how we wrote
still relevant. And I'm sure the same is true for Troll.
Yeah, that's how we wrote the song Just Thoughts. Like, it literally is exactly what he just said.
We just spit it out on the paper and then went back and looked at it and was like, wow, that's fucking brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
But yeah, we do have a video from live performance that you guys did. Do you guys want to bring us into the intro on that? Where were you guys playing at for here? Here.
I think the one, if it's the one,
the Red Room.
Yeah, the Red Room.
Yeah, the Red Room opening up for Saliva. That drummer.
Okay. So, yeah, wow.
Yep, that drummer is Tyler Johnson. He's not with us anymore, but he's just not jamming with us anymore. Right. I didn't mean to sound like he was dead or nothing like that. No. He's not
Tyler
able
is
to.
Okay, everyone.
Yes, he's not able to jam with us anymore. But we've got Dorian Chandler. And fun story about Dorian Chandler is son of the man who recorded the first Second System CD ever.
Second. He was our second producer. Our first CD was done by Tory LaFrance.
That's right.
But Randy Chandler was involved in the production of that, and he came in and laid a solo on one of our songs on our first album before Troll joined us. And so Dorian was a child, in diapers while we were recording the first couple of albums that he's now playing songs on. And so it was like one of those things where me and his dad would always joke throughout the years, Dorian's going to be your drummer one day. And I was like, yeah, okay. This 5-year-old is playing the White Stripes like with no in a pocket, and I'm like, that's the White Stripes though. It's not really what the what we're doing. But now, I mean, this kid is really working. He's making his dad's legacy proud. He's making Saginaw proud. He's out there. He's playing drums with anybody he can, and he's doing great, man. He's an amazing kid, man, and he's got a lot of his dad in him, and a lot of his own that he's bringing to the table to make himself, an even better musician and human being. And I appreciate Dorian very much. I got the nickname
Agreed.
Baby D from this kid when he was 5 years old, just because he was a little smart mouth kid talking junk to me. He said, well, you're just a baby. I said, what do you know? You're just a baby. And he's like, well, you're just a baby D. And everybody just started laughing. And that's my nickname. It's stuck for almost 20 years now. And I run my DJ business, DJ Baby D Fisher, based off of, so this kid means a lot to us. And Dorian.
So he's the drummer on this video that we're about to watch. And other than that, there's going to be the same lineup as on this video. But if we were opening up for Saliva at the Red Room.
If it's the Red Room video, it's Tyler playing drums. Dorian wasn't with us yet.
Right. That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Dorian was about to play.
It's the same lineup except for the drummer that we're going to be seeing next week. Opening up for Head PE at the Vault.
Oh, and we're also going to have Big Stubby playing guitar with us this time. Stubby wasn't with us in this performance.
Don wasn't there?
No.
I was going to ask you about.
Don recorded the audio. He was our
that's
audio
right.
engineer
Oh my God.
Yeah, he recorded the audio for this video.
He sure did. All right. Yep.
All right.
That's
right.
that's what we're
We're
gonna.
gonna-
The show was booked at the Red Room by Chris Redburn, and he gave us the opportunity to play with Redburn and Saliva, and we did good. It was a great show.
That was fun.
It was. Yes, it was. It was a great performance, but now time to share it with the world. So everyone, pack another bowl. Get comfy. We're not done yet. So enjoy the show.
Shit.
Amen.
Thank you.
Derek is still stepped away, so he'll be back momentarily. Oh, there he is.
I want to point out the fact that you see at the end of that video, I was sitting there twiddling my fucking cable because, like, that last 2 or 3 screams, I realized that, oh shit, fucking mic cable came out. Which is why I always give it at least one fucking wrap around nowadays. Like,
okay,
don't wrap your fucking cable, says the cable. Fine, I'm not gonna twist it, but I'm giving it one wraparound. Okay. I just want to make sure
you gotta have at least one reach around.
Yeah.
Like I was watching that video and I saw that and I was just like, was his mic like unplugged the entire time? Because it didn't sound like it. I was like, holy shit.
No, it was just unplugged right at the end there.
Yeah. Just that very, very last one.
And that was a good show. That was cool. It was inside the Dow Event Center, in the Red Room, a big room. Once again, thanks to Chris Redburn for hooking that up for us and sharing that bill with us. It was the first time we got put on a billboard, and we got to have our logo flying in our hometown. The Second System was playing at the Dow Event Center in the Red Room, and it was a really cool thing. We've gotten, looking back at that video and thinking about all the stuff that we've gotten to do that I never thought possible. When I first started the band, my first real concert was Ozfest '97. The first tour that they did, and I experienced Coal Chamber live before I ever heard their music on album or anything. And I'm not gonna lie, I was 16 and I was tripping acid. So that whole day was so surreal for me. But I met the guys from Coal Chamber before they were famous or anything, and we burned a joint, and I got to hang out with some people that were on the level that we are now back then, and I just kind of realized what I wanted to do with my music, and I didn't really care about becoming rich and famous or the money, and I just wanted to play shows like that and share that kind of energy the way they did, and realizing, at that time it only cost 10 grand to buy onto Ozfest for these guys, and now if Ozfest was to do it, obviously it costs way more, but at the time, when you start thinking about the late 90s and early 2000s, there was so much metal and hard music that saw a rebirth, that it came from so many different avenues and so many different ways of coming in, because everybody was trying to get away from what my kids now call dad metal, the Megadeth, the Metallicas, the stuff that laid the foundation. So we ended up having what they called new metal, and then that label ended up getting just stuck on the bands that mixed rap and rock. But what new metal really was at the time it was coming out was new metal. It was the Coal Chambers, it was the Neurosis, it was the Sepulturas, it was anything in that type of vein, the Fear Factory, the stuff, the metal that incorporated so many other styles of music within it that it changed you couldn't just say that's
Biohazard.
you couldn't just say that's heavy metal. Yeah, like Biohazard, these bands had so many different styles going on in their mix that it made me want to be like, as a musician, I don't want to hate on any kind of music and prevent me from growing as a musician and using whatever I can appreciate from a style. If I don't appreciate that whole style, at least I can incorporate something into my development as a musician and my songwriting to try and, reach more people or reach myself a bit more. Why should I put those limitations on? So whenever Second System started out, we didn't really care or focus on who we were going to sound like or what we were going to sound like. We just wanted to see what happened. And I to this day, I still get many different people putting us in many different categories based off of what they hear. Somebody I used to work with said, "Oh, you guys are new metal," because Troll has 2 or 3 parts that sound a little rappy. So they just went with new metal. But then when you listen to songs like Night Soul and you're like, that's not a typical, categorized new metal song. You know what I mean? It's like, and you've played a couple different songs in the break that had different members, different singers and stuff that brought in different levels of musicianship to where we weren't hindered. I always wanted to make sure we weren't pigeonholed or stuck in a box. I wanted to be able to make sure that we were able to play what we came up with and what we just did, without having that limit of like, Godsmack. Anytime Godsmack puts out an album, you expect a certain type of sound from them. And if they don't produce that, you're like, you're a little let down. But at the same time, the fans that don't appreciate that stuff are hindered from being able to appreciate that I don't want to say cookie cutter format, that format of rock where you're always going to be able to expect the same type of thing from that band. I always wanted to keep it interesting and fresh and
Right. Okay. I'll put it to a comparison. Like we've got the song "Change of Heart," very, very heavy, very, very choppy. And then we've got the song "Unseen," that's very, very soft, very, very slow, very. You know what I mean? So like, and everything in between. Like it just whatever the fuck. Like I said, it's like a soup. Whatever ingredient each member showed up with at practice that day, and it's the recipes that tasted so damn good going down are the ones that each one of us remember enough that when members have come and gone and changed and there has been an odd growth there, but it seems like the mix that we've got that we're about to serve up this weekend or next weekend is the fan favorite, and that's me, Pat, Derek, and I mean
the Trinity known as the Trinity these days.
Yes, me, Pat, and Derek. As long as those 3 motherfuckers are there, man, that's awesome. Now, if you can get Don to show up, they're like, "Woo, motherfuckers, we got a show." And
Right.
we're lucky, really lucky, and glad to have Jordan come in there because, man, that's one guy that I've always, always, always enjoyed working with on and off stage. Like me and that guy just really connect. We understand each other. We get each other. We want the same goal. At each point of our lives since meeting, me and Jordan have always had the same kind of goal of what we wanted out of music and what we wanted to get from it. So it's been just great meeting that guy and awesome to work with him and glad to have him there. He feels now like a core member, because like I said, there have been many members, but Jordan feels like he's always been there.
Well, Jordan kind of always has been there. One of the things that I can say proudly about this band is that any of the members who have come after any new member who's ever come into the fold always started out as a fan. We never had anybody that joined the band specifically for business reasons or, just because we got somebody. There was always somebody who stepped up and said, "Hey, I want to do that because you guys need a guy, and I love the music and I want to do it. So like when Tyler joined the band, he was underage and we were looking for somebody who was of age to stay in the bars and stuff. And we were trying to audition other drummers while he was filling in because he was underage. But he showed up to all the other drummers' auditions and waxed them. You know what I mean? On their own kit. These guys would sit down for their audition and play the songs they'd been working on.
Oh yeah, I remember that day.
And then he'd get up and we did like a thing. We set up like a show where we had public auditions and we had 3 drummers come out, and on all of their own drum kits, this kid sat down and waxed them on songs that he never practiced with us. He just knew by verbatim. And Don was the same way. When Don came into the second system, the lead guitar player, Big Stubby, he was a fan of the band. Troll was a fan of our first album, you know, probably mostly because his big brother was in a band, you know, at the time. But there was any new member we've ever had was always a fan of the band first. So we've always had that luck. And Jordan, I remember when Jordan was a teenager and coming out to the shows at Jamestown Hall, and him telling me, "Oh, well, I'm trying to get a band going. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that." You know, and then we had a rehearsal space next to one of the rehearsal spaces his band that he was trying to get together was in. And we went over there and hung out with him and just, you know, got high, jammed a little bit. And he was like, it made an impression on him, I guess, because it's one of the things that he always tells me, you know, when we get together and hang out. He's like, you know, I still remember that day you came over and we thought because you guys were the second system, you were going to be all, you know, cock smokes or whatever, but you guys were very down to earth and you made me feel welcome as a human, you know, and Jordan has always felt like family in the band, as is any member who's ever come and gone, whether they were here while Troll was here or not, they still feel like family to the point to where, hell, we had a show a couple of years ago where we invited every past member to jump on stage with us and do a show and do songs that they didn't write or they weren't on when the recording. And I mean, and it was a cool moment that a lot of bands don't get to enjoy. You know, the having Troll on stage with Mark or having Troll on stage with Kyle, Megan on stage with Pat. These members were never in the band together, but you know, the ability that they all had to be able to get on stage, put their egos aside and work together. It was like I said, a magic that I noticed that a lot of other bands don't get to enjoy that and appreciate that. And that's something that I'm thankful for and always grateful for, the fact that a lot of the musicians who have always been in this band, I don't think there's been one slouch in any of the any member that's ever been in this band for any length of time, whether it was a short period or a long period. They were always very talented. They were always very gifted. And there was something about them that made their time here worth it and worthwhile. You know, they may have left with some bad circumstances or circumstances to where, you know, we can't work together anymore for whatever reason. But at the same time, I don't not appreciate being with anybody that's ever been in this band. I appreciate. And I want to point out,
Derek was the person who started the goddamn band. Derek is the one person who has always been in the fucking band.
Yep. I'm the only guy who's always been consistent. Yep, from beginning to end. You know, if the rest of the band got together and did a show without me, I don't think they would call it the second system. I don't know what they would call it.
No, I want to do it now.
Oh, you want to do it now?
Hell yes. I'm going to call Mario Moschetta.
Oh, I want to see how that works out. I'd love to watch the second system. I've never gotten a chance to see the second system.
I'll see if Mark Ganigaski wants to do it.
Yeah, I've never gotten a chance to see the second system, so
I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put it out there. Hey, I'm putting together a second system show, and I need a guitar player to replace Derek. Who wants to audition? And see who's got the balls to show up.
That's funny. I feel like I'm going to end up training that person. Job.
I can do what Derek does in the second system. And it's like, no, you can't control. No, you have to do a Derek impression. You know, and you get to choose if you want to do long hair Derek, hat wearing Derek, or bald-headed Derek. You know,
But then you got to break it down into bald fat Derek or bald skinny Derek.
Right. We got a whole lot, man. Oh man, the category just opened up, bro. Especially, oh man, this could be
You
fun.
probably get the whole band. You should get like the whole band, just like different personas of Derek.
One thing that will be consistent is all the personas will have severe stage fright to where they throw up before they get on stage.
Oh man!
But it disappears. But it's funny because you were talking about it earlier, Dan. You know how our personas take over once the lights go on. That stage fright that I feel every show disappears the second we start. But right before we go on, that 5 minutes before I know we're taking stage, man, I'm so nervous.
I'm terrified.
Terrified.
Halfway through the first song, it's like, fuck it, let's go.
and what's funny is I don't feel that fear playing with any other band. I've been in Redburn. I've played. I play with Shadow People now. I'm in a Megadeth tribute band called Reckoning Day. I've played with Blackout. I've played with Failed Society. A lot of bands. The Matt Ryan band. I played in a country band too. We got to open for Brad Paisley. So I've done a lot of good things with a lot of good acts that did other big stuff, you know. But I never felt that fear, that tension that I get right before I get on stage with the Second System. You know, in any configuration of the band, that fear takes hold of me for some reason. It makes my stomach upset. You know, I throw up and or I'll gag. But the second we get on and the lights dim down and it's time
I
to
have
go.
thrown up from it, but and exactly that. It's like a transformation right there.
Right. It's like we find a way to let the universe take over, and it is what it is. I mean, there's been shows where we get on stage with absolutely no rehearsal whatsoever when we haven't played together for years or months, and we're like, fuck, this is gonna suck. We're gonna fuck this up because other bands require rehearsal, and then we get on stage and somehow we just let the universe take over, and it just happens, and we're like, wow. Did that happen like that? Did we really pull that off? That I didn't expect myself to play that well, let alone you or you know. And that's one of the blessings that we've always had. You know, any member of this
I got
band
John Lajeunesse trying to call me. I wonder if I can answer it. No,
probably not.
Nope.
Send him the link and tell him to come on here.
Yeah, we still got a few more minutes, so yeah, tell him to come on.
Yeah, tell him to come on. Say hi real quick. But yeah, any member in this band, he'll come back. But any member of this band has always been worth their weight as a band member, and I appreciate all of them. You know, whether or not they know it or not, if they're watching tonight, you know, I like I said, all of them. Whether I could still play music with them or not, their place in this band meant something, and it stayed here. And you know, we as a band, past, present, all of the members always appreciate that, and I love them all.
what?
Right. Yeah, it's just crazy how things just how things just come together.
Well, let me ask you a question,
comes
Dan.
together, and like you just found like it's pretty much a Danish family. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Let me ask you a question real quick. Can you recall your first time seeing us play?
I don't know. I can't recall. It was a very long time ago. And
right.
I don't think Troll was not in the band at the time. You
know? Right. So it was that long ago.
Because Troll was still all for the cause. Yeah.
Right, but even though it was that long ago, it was still something that you held on to in your memory. And I mean, and there's bands you've probably seen you don't remember from that long ago. You don't remember their names. You know, there's something about us that stuck out in your memory, and we're lucky to be able to do that for a lot of people. And I'm still glad that people remember us from at one point or another and appreciate us the way we appreciate them and their efforts to keep us, in their hearts joyfully. I don't know. I'm just in a grateful mood right now.
Right.
Smoke some
Exactly.
weed,
Well,
go to bed.
it's when you're doing something you love and you take it seriously and you start to realize that people are appreciating it, and it makes you realize that what you're doing for all that time, you're doing all this stuff for free, you're still doing for free, you're grinding it out and all this, and it's just you finally get to realize that okay, people are appreciating it now. You're getting to that point where you actually realize that this could become a reality. Like it's no longer a pipe dream, it's becoming reality.
Well, I mean,
And that's why
and
oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, and that kind of reassurance is worth more than any money we could make. Whenever we go out and we see bands or people in bands that are doing things that they weren't doing at the time, but they still remember who we are. For example, Astray. Astray, the rapper from Saginaw, he works for Slim Shady Records. He's doing great out there. Mike Spitz is also doing very well. These were guys that we were grinding with 20 years ago in the Wise Guys bar scene and hanging out and just and these guys are doing great big things right now, and they still look at us like, wow, when are you guys going to do another show? They give us a certain respect that we don't expect. Troll is friends with the singer from King. King is obviously a band that has gone and done some things, and yet whenever their lead singer sees Troll, he's like, "Hey, what's up, Troll?" And we stick out in people's minds, and I don't know why, but I'm glad of it, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate you, Dan, for having us on here too, and
Yeah.
making time for us and everything, and hometown homies, whatever. We go back, way back, even though we haven't hung out in a long time. It's still good. It feels like, we picked up right where we left off.
Yep. It's kind of like I don't understand, it's hard to explain. Like I don't drink anymore. I'm 12 years sober. Like I haven't had a drink in I think 13 years last September. So it'll be 13 years.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, it's like I try not to go out, because the temptation is there and everything. I like to go out and have fun, but it's just without drinking, it's not I don't want to say it's not fun anymore. It's just that I don't know. It's more obnoxious because people are drunk, but it's okay. But I get that, and a lot of friends, fell off. I fell off. I stopped talking to a lot of people, and I'm trying to get back to where I used to be, because now I think I'm strong enough to where I'm at that point where I can actually hang out with my old friends and all that stuff from now on. And it's just like when you stop talking to someone and like what 12 years 13 years have gone by, and then you talk to them the next day and it's right back where you left off. It's like, and that's true friendship, and that's pretty much in my eyes, and that's great to have.
Right, and you get that from people being genuine, nobody being pretentious and trying to pretend to be somebody. Those pretend people, those are the ones you get, where they're like, oh, wait, which persona am I going to be right now? And you don't have to be that. Just be yourself. And I appreciate the fact that you and a lot of people are still able to be that way with us. I know Troll sees this too. We see people out there, our constituents in the music scene, they're being their persona to everybody else. And then they see us and they stop and go, they break character for a minute, and they're just like, oh, hey, what's up? Yeah. We all break character together, and, but at the same time, still being our genuine selves. And it's very much appreciated and understood that that's what's got to happen in the world, man. People be themselves more, and we could all get along a hell of a lot better, man. Accepting of ourselves and accepting of each other. Spread the love.
Yeah. Words of wisdom here on the Dan Lovely Show.
Accept you.
Accepting. Yeah. You can't accept other people until you accept who you are first. So
that's right. And smoke weed.
They smoke a lot of weed. Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, smoke the weed. Don't drink the fire water. Don't drink the fire water.
I'll drink to that.
Oh,
But yeah, we are running out of time, guys. I do want to thank you guys for coming on and at short notice. And yeah, we just kind of threw this episode together, and it turned out to be a fantastic one as always.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. And
next
real
Friday
quick,
or next Saturday.
October 7th at the Vault. October 7th at the Vault.
Put it on your titties.
What? No. October 7th at the Vault. We're going to be with Ed PE.
Nice. But yeah, check them out at the Vault, guys, next Saturday. So, yep. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you, Dan. We appreciate you.
Yeah, not a problem. Anytime, guys. Anytime you want to come back on, just let me know.
Right on, right on. You got it, my man.
Holla at your boy. See you guys later. Yeah. Second System coming on. Saginaw's very own Second System. Friends from way back, we're just trying to make it. It's just funny how people like that are on the same path just kind of mesh together. And we kind of just find each other in the universe, and it happens that way. I don't know. A firm believer in positive energy and all that good stuff. And speaking of which, check out our new podcast about to drop. Me and two other friends. We got Droopy M from Take Money Productions and Job Blaze from the Cloud Chronicles. We have joined forces and became the Illuminati Ice Cream. So come and check that out. Three friends talking about conspiracy theories with a little bit of comedy thrown in, and who knows what'll happen. It's just gonna be great. We're gonna try it out. But yeah, check us out next week. Next week I do have the host of the Screaming Chewy Show, Chewy, coming in, and he's gonna kick it with me for a little bit. But until then, I'll see you guys next week. Love you guys. Stay up. Peace.